Well, hello, and thank you very much for coming today. I think I know most of the people in the room. So you are joining us for the 2023 State of the City Address. And our goal for this presentation is to update you on some of the great work that we've been doing, accomplished in the past year, as well as to share what you can expect in the future. Is this a good sound? Am I too close? It's good. Okay. So as I look to the future, I'm filled with excitement, hope, and pride for this great city. Not only do we have extraordinary leaders, both past and present, that guide us to maintaining our high quality of life, but we have an amazing community and amazing engaged residents. These last few years, as hard as they were with COVID and other challenges, showed us that our community is resilient, united, and strong. We all want to make a difference and help Shoreview continue its vision of becoming, our vision, a welcoming community that provides quality services, safe and beautiful neighborhoods, a vibrant economy, and exceptional recreational opportunities. I am incredibly proud to serve as your mayor and continue leading this city following Sandy Martin's 26 years as mayor. Sandy's impact on this community is immeasurable, and we were so proud to honor her service here in this room in December. And as a final token of appreciation for her service, an entrance monument to the Friendship Garden was dedicated in her name and will be installed this summer. Sandy, who wasn't able to be here tonight, we thank her for all of her dedication to Shoreview and for her support, which I tap her for often as I take on the role. And while I have incredibly big shoes to fill, I'm confident and prepared to fulfill the duties, having served on the City Council for 6 years, as well as 9+ years on the Economic Development Commission and the Economic Development Authority, a career in the private sector, and over 30 years as a Shoreview resident. This community is truly dear to my heart, and I promise to fully leverage my local government and leadership experience and do my absolute best in the important position of mayor. And of course, this job would be impossible without the tireless work of my fellow council members. I want to recognize those who work beside me to lead this city and guide our staff. They are hardworking, they are empathetic, dedicated, and they care deeply about the community. So I'm going to ask you to all stand. Emmy Johnson, who I don't believe was able to be here tonight, Corey Springhorn, John Brown, and recently appointed Shelley Maryland. Thank you for your constant leadership and commitment and service to the community. Now I'll take a few minutes to review some of our 2022 accomplishments and highlight some of our major initiatives for 2023. We have a vision, a mission, and values. The city takes great pride in its reputation as being a welcoming and vibrant community. This spring, we reviewed and reaffirmed our mission, vision, and value statements that were adopted in 2021. These statements will help guide us and ensure our culture and values continue as we plan for the future. So as I mentioned earlier, our vision statement is to be a welcoming community that provides quality services, safe and beautiful neighborhoods, a vibrant economy, and exceptional recreational opportunities. Our mission is to foster community pride and create a high quality of life by providing exceptional services and amenities. And we also adopted 8 values: being a welcoming community, inspiring health and wellness, open and honest government, to be innovative and collaborative, customer service, stewardship, to be visionary, and communications and engagement. So to go to an individual area, let's start with Parks and Recreation. In 2022, if you recall, we had a surge of COVID cases, which had an impact on all aspects of life. For the city, it particularly impacted Parks and Recreation activities, and that included the community center. Fortunately, that surge quickly subsided and life began to get back to normal, or what seemed like normal. The water park and the indoor playground were often at capacity. The fitness center was busy, and rentals now have been nonstop, leading to a successful year. In 2023, the community center has been as busy as ever, exceeding 2019 so far, which had been the best year to date. Strong programming and great facilities are appreciated by our members and our users. And I have to also call out the ability of the Parks and Rec Department to pivot when we've had COVID surges and then pivot back when the surge was over. It's been very critical, I think, to our members and users. An absolute highlight of 2022 was the grand opening of the Destination Playground at Commons Park. Nearly 4,000 people came out to celebrate the opening, which included food trucks, face painting, a petting zoo, music, and other family-friendly activities. This incredible investment in our community will pay dividends and impact lives for generations to come. Parks continue to be a high priority for Shoreview as the city recently completed its park system master plan. We've reviewed our city parks, held neighborhood and community meetings, and examined demographics and recreation trends. The city is committed to continue providing exceptional recreation opportunities, and the plan represents a substantial investment to ensure that these opportunities remain for many years to come. And soon we'll be in the heart of summer, and community members will be able to enjoy a fantastic concert series and a children's concert series, and of course the always popular farmers market. On the housing and economic development front, Shoreview remains a highly attractive market as we continue to see significant new commercial and residential development, reinvestment, and construction activity despite post-pandemic impacts, rising interest rates, and building costs. With our convenient location, our quality schools, wonderful parks and trails, and abundant lakes and open spaces, Shoreview is truly a desirable place to live, to work, and to do business. Despite being a nearly fully developed community, the City Council, along with the Economic Development Authority and Economic Development Commission, work hard to ensure that Shoreview maintains a strong, healthy, and positive business climate that both promotes and fosters continued economic development, business growth, and reinvestment in the community. Additionally, we've seen a wave of multifamily residential apartments and townhomes these past 5 years, and the city has partnered financially with the developers to incorporate affordable units within these projects, providing greater housing choices for all ages and incomes. So I'm going to review for you some of these successful housing and commercial developments that have occurred in the past couple of years, and then discuss some of the exciting projects that soon will be coming to the city. Many of these projects involve the redevelopment of older commercial properties that are being transformed into new, vibrant residential communities or businesses that bring added services, jobs, and an expanded tax base. So completed and approved housing projects include the Edison at Rice Creek. This is located on previously undeveloped property near the Rice Creek Corporate Park along 35W north of County Road I. This development is now complete with a total of 401 rental housing units, including 300 apartments and 101 townhomes and carriage homes. The city helped support the inclusion of 22 affordable units within the project through a local tax abatement. The next development is the Emmerich Shoreview, the second phase apartment building next to the Loden, and these are located across from the Green Mill. And the Emmerich opened about a year ago. The two buildings were part of a nearly $90 million multifamily residential redevelopment project of an old vacant industrial building in the Shoreview Corporate Center at Lexington and County Road F. A total of 410 market rate apartments were constructed, and the city and the developer again partnered to incorporate 24 affordable units within both phases. And because of the demand, the third phase is now underway for a 200-unit apartment building within the same property on a site near Lexington Avenue. The site preparation work, you might have noticed, has already started, and construction should begin next month. Another redevelopment was Midland Terrace, opened a new 103-unit apartment building this past year. The project involved a teardown of an older 42-unit building next to the previously developed Lakeview Terrace, and this is at County Road E and Victoria. This is an example of reinvestment in our older apartment complexes, and the ownership has also undertaken significant exterior and interior upgrades to their residential community. And finally, the Macmillan, a redevelopment project at the northwest corner of Rice and 694 that includes 134 apartments, 14 rental townhomes, and the popular Oliver's Restaurant. The restaurant was recently granted city approval to expand their parking lot area to accommodate the growing parking demand from customers and residents. And I wanted to make a note here that I've heard comments from people that'll say, why all the apartments? Why now? What's happening? And actually, we have not built any new apartment buildings, I think, for nearly 25 years, if I'm right. And so there was a lot of pent-up demand, and actually when you average it out over those years, it doesn't seem quite so impactful. So the city also continues to see redevelopment and growth in its business and commercial areas, including the Lex at 4100, and that's a project involving a major renovation of an older office building in the Shoreview Corporate Center campus at Lexington Avenue and County Road F. The city assisted with the renovations to modernize the corporate offices to convert them from a single user to high-end multi-tenant facility. An older, vacant, adjacent building has been torn down to make way for a new upgraded parking area and entrance. And the building is nearly fully leased with great companies including technology company PTC, Progressive Insurance, and the recent additions of Greatwater Financial and the Circle of Life administrative offices, all of which bring new employment opportunities to the community. Other commercial projects that have been approved or completed this past year include the Confession Art Museum, which opened last fall and is located at 4600 Churchill Street next to the Churchill Street restaurant. There is a new holiday station across from Oliver's at 3467 Rice, and that's now open for business, includes a car wash as well. Longtime Shoreview business Schoonover Body Works, located near Lexington on County Road E, is nearing completion of their expansion and renovation project, and we're happy to see that this longtime business is staying in Shoreview. Wells Fargo undertook major security and infrastructure upgrades at their data center facility in Rice Creek Corporate Park. They are also installing a solar energy system on the roof and over part of the parking lot at the operations center. And finally, we are excited for the summer opening of a new and Shoreview's first wine bar called In Vino Veritas at 1080 County Road E. The city has approved the licenses and renovations are underway, and this is in the space that used to be odds and ends. We're currently working with private developers on two major redevelopment projects that will bring even more new housing and economic development to Shoreview. Rice Street Crossing is a unique opportunity to redevelop a city-owned 11-acre parcel at the southwest quadrant of 694 and Rice Street. And this property used to be home to the county's public works maintenance facilities and has sat vacant for 20 years. The land is finally available for redevelopment now that the Rice Street 694 interchange project has been completed. The property has its challenges. Further environmental cleanup will be required, but we're now positioned to move forward with pursuing development that will transform this brownfield site into a project that benefits the community. Following a thorough request for proposals process, the city selected Enclave Development as our partner. Enclave has proposed a mixed-use project of 260 to 280 apartments that include up to 20% of the units being affordable. Incorporation of live-work units for small-scale office uses and a retail center that could include a restaurant. The developer and the city will be working hard over the next year on the project, which includes engaging the public for input with the goal of starting construction sometime in 2024. And then we have the Skinnell Seven Lakes development, which is a master plan development of the 50-acre former deluxe corporate campus at 694 and Victoria Street. The city has been working closely with the developer Skinnell Properties on a phased development that will include a mix of new business park, office, industrial, and multifamily housing on this highly visible and attractive site. The first phase of the eastern half of the is underway for 2 multi-tenant office manufacturing buildings that'll total 300,000 square feet. These new spaces will be wonderful additions for attracting new businesses and jobs. The second phase, which is the western half of the property, will likely be developed after phase 1, with opportunities for med tech facilities, office and multifamily apartments taking advantage of nearby schools and Island Lake Park. Economic development has a close connection with housing, especially affordable housing for those who wish to work and live in our community. The City Council is committed to facilitate and foster a positive economic climate for businesses to thrive in Shoreview and to support providing housing choices, including affordable options. Towards this affordable housing goal, we have taken significant action by adopting an inclusionary housing policy that requires any housing projects of 20 or more units to incorporate 10% affordability in the development. Additionally, through our Economic Development Authority, we are partnering with nonprofit housing agencies such as Community Action Partnerships of Ramsey and Washington County, that are known as CAPRA, Habitat for Humanity, and the Rondo Community Land Trust on small-scale, affordable housing projects that will provide owner-occupied opportunities for new or existing residents. To support one of our longtime main goals of maintaining high-quality neighborhoods and reinvestment in our older housing stock, we have enhanced our home improvement loan and down payment assistance programs, offering low-interest financing for residents looking to improve their homes and for first-time home buyers in the community. We have also created a new pilot manufactured home improvement program to help those homeowners in need of necessary home improvements for their manufactured homes, because those are an important affordable housing option. Switching to transportation, focus on a high-quality transportation system has always been a high priority for Shoreview, and this continues to be so. The city did its best to limit and react to impacts from the Ramsey County construction work on Lexington Avenue. While this project has been more than challenging during construction, once completed, the Lexington Avenue corridor will function better for both businesses and travelers. The city is also working with Ramsey County on planned improvements for 2023 and 2024, which include Hodgson Road from Ramsey Road to Highway 96 and an improved intersection at Hodgson Road and County Road J. City streets in Shoreview are currently being analyzed for the planned 2024 street improvement project, which will rehabilitate approximately 4 miles of city streets. And while our public transit options in Shoreview are limited and not greatly utilized, our Bikes and Trailway Committee continues to work with city leadership and staff on identifying trail priorities that provide connectivity for pedestrian and bike traffic. In the area of financial management, while significant community investment continues, I'm happy to say that our strong financial condition remains intact. Shoreview city taxes on a median value home is 6th lowest when compared to the 28 other metro area cities as shown on the slide. On a median value home, the city taxes amount to $100 per month, which is lower than many cable bills. Of the property taxes that you pay, only 24% goes to Shoreview. The other taxing jurisdictions, the Met Council, School District, collect the other remaining 76%. I continue to be proud of the work the council and staff has been doing to invest your tax dollars wisely for the greater benefit of the community. Shoreview's long-term financial planning ensures our financial stability, maintains our AAA bond rating, secures our tax rate as one of the lowest in comparison to other similar-sized metropolitan communities, all while maintaining one of the highest quality of life survey ratings. In the area of inclusion and engagement, in 2022, Shoreview continued its reputation as a welcoming community by joining the Just Deeds Coalition and condemning the use of discriminatory covenants. These were a popular tool in the early 1900s to limit who could purchase houses in certain locations. By joining the coalition, the city can help Shoreview residents discharge these covenants from their deeds free of charge. This is an important step for the city to recognize its history and make intentional progress towards racial equity in the community. To date, the Mapping Prejudice Project has found 91 properties in Shoreview with discriminatory covenants. We also continue to cultivate the next generation of leaders. In the last year, we have welcomed 22 new members across our committees and commissions, our advisory boards, including 4 students. Additionally, 17 residents recently completed our ever so popular Citizens Leadership Academy. Over 7 weeks, those residents learned about each department and what makes Shoreview unique as a city. Our hope is that all these residents will continue being engaged community boosters and help improve our services and programs. Last year, Shoreview participated in a community survey, which we have done every 2 or 3 years. So the community survey was conducted in August and September of last year through Polco, a well-known in the city's community engagement platform. So the survey collects information in the following areas: residential demographics, quality of life, recreation, city services, taxes and city services, development, and communications. And I'm very proud to share that our survey results were exceptional. And I'm going to give you just a quick snapshot of the survey results. The percentages mentioned are ratings of excellent or good. So in terms of quality of life, 95% of our residents rated it as excellent or good. This places Shoreview as the top city in 20 of its local peer cities that Polco surveyed. Shoreview is a place to live, 98%. Overall feeling of safety, 93%. Shoreview outperformed both national and local benchmarks in the following areas: treating residents with respect, I'm not going to share all the numbers, being honest, treating all residents fairly, generally acting in the best interest of the community, overall confidence in Shoreview government, being open and transparent to the public, overall direction that the city is taking, value of services for tax paid, and the job Shoreview government does at welcoming resident involvement and informing residents about issues facing the community. And the following services scored more than 20 points higher than the national benchmarks, and that is in recreational centers or facilities, water resources, availability of paths and walking trails, and K-12 education. We are absolutely committed to maintaining or improving all we do for the Shoreview community. And if you were surveyed, thanks to those who were able to share their experiences, they help guide our decisions. So that's 2022. Let's move on to the 2023 and 24 strategic goals. So our city has a long history of striving towards continuous improvement. Earlier this year, the city staff and the city council, I should say city staff leadership team and the council, held a workshop to develop our strategic goals for the coming 1 to 2 years. The core focus areas are financial stability, organizational excellence, community and economic development, and inclusion and engagement. The following are a few of our upcoming priorities. They are monitoring potential housing and business redevelopment opportunities, improving our transportation infrastructure, providing a variety of outreach and engagement opportunities that meet the needs of the city's changing demographics, evaluating and adjusting our code enforcement program, creating a climate action plan and statement, enhancing and upgrading our park and recreation infrastructure, and evaluating staffing needs to maintain Shoreview's high standard of service delivery. Our continued focus on always improving our services and infrastructure ensures Shoreview will maintain its high quality of life for decades to come. So, in conclusion, as I begin my first term as mayor, I'm focused on working with the city council, residents, business owners, community leaders, and staff to continue our success as a city, to strengthen our community relationships and enhance our quality of life. I believe it is also important to look for opportunities for our citizens to best engage with the city, and how do we do more of that? Whether it's through volunteering for committees or commissions, participating in the many available programs offered by Parks and Recreation, participating in a leadership academy, participating in a city council meeting or a planning meeting, or watching a streamed version, or simply signing up for city communications and following the city via social media. So I'm very excited about what we have accomplished and for the opportunity ahead. I believe that the local level of government is where we can make the largest impact on the quality of life in this and other cities. This strongly held belief keeps me and the rest of our leadership focused on working hard to create a better city for both current and future generations of Shoreview residents and businesses. By continuing to work collaboratively with our residents, our neighboring cities, other levels of government, and maintaining our focus on long-range planning, Shoreview will continue its position as one of the premier communities in the state of Minnesota. On behalf of the entire City Council, I would like to thank our many committee and commission members who volunteer their time and give their input to help make Shoreview a better place. I also want to thank our many community groups, including the Shoreview Northern Lights Variety Band, the Shoreview Einhausen Sister City Association, Gallery 96, Slice of Shoreview Committee, the Shoreview Historical Society, and the Shoreview Community Foundation for everything that they do. Each of these groups helps build civic pride and make our community stronger. Finally, many thanks to our professional and dedicated city staff that work to provide a high variety of municipal services and programs, both to our citizens and to our guests, with a very high level of customer service. I also wanted to acknowledge our pride in our Moundsview and Roseville school districts for the excellent educational opportunities they provide and for their partnership with the city. Shoreview's public safety, that is so important to our community and its residents, is provided by our valued partners and excellent providers, the Lake Johanna Fire Department and the Ramsey County Sheriff's Department. We thank them for keeping our communities safe. And as a city, we are committed to an open and accessible government and are making many efforts to increase our communications with residents through a variety of methods, including the city's website and social media accounts, our quarterly Shoreviews newsletter, and the bi-monthly Access Shoreview e-newsletter. We also televise and stream all City Council and Planning Commission meetings, and of course, all residents are always welcome to attend either one of those. It's truly an honor and privilege to serve as the mayor of our great city, and I look forward to continuing to work together to ensure our continued progress and success. Thank you so much for your time in coming today. Thank you for your participation in the community. I wish you all a happy and healthy year ahead. Thank you.